things for Abedin. Oh, the meeting's being live streamed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You can stay or you can just click on got it. Also Chuck's nickname on Grindr, by the way. It's almost impossible for that joke not to work. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yep.
You're correct, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a guy who's also my nickname on Grindr, Mr. Mike Langworthy.
Oh.
Thanks, Chuck.
Woo!
Appreciate that. I'm sure you get lots of play on Grindr with the nickname Mike Langworthy.
Yes.
I can't imagine a more tedious time than scrolling, looking for whatever it is that you call pussy. And
It's probably not pussy.
saying that your nickname was Mike Langworthy. People are going, what? Are you kidding?
Right.
Right.
I thought you always spelled it Mike Langworthy.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
I am Linkworthy.
Lengthworthy.
I got what you said. I'm just changing the subject to avoid your embarrassment. Anyway, I am struggling. You know, I think I'm gonna postpone the thing about trying to be relevant until a time when there's more people here at the beginning of the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to see what it is, because right now I don't feel like I'm particularly relevant anyway, and the fact that the vast majority of the people who signed up for the mic are not actually on the mic right now, and and one guy who is like a foreigner, for Christ's sake. I mean, who cares? Oh, sorry, Abedin, I forgot to tell you that I'm an incredible asshole.
I like it. I like it because trust me, because the script that I prepared for today is very racial. Trust me. So
Oh,
so you're gonna like it. I'm like,
that's hard to believe. It's really hard to believe that a comedian from the subcontinent would do racial and ethnic material.
Yeah, I'm in the same league. So
Welcome to Jordan.
It'd be great if you did 5 consecutive minutes of Pakistani bashing. Hysterical.
Oh, I would love that. I'm working in that because those guys are our arch rivals. So in everything, whether in cricket or whatever,
no matter what it is.
Yeah, no matter what.
I have a friend who. Yeah, that's right. I have a friend. Let's just stop there.
You have several, including Ned Rice.
Name one.
Right.
Ned Rice.
Ned Rice.
Rice is my friend.
He's a friend.
We're frenemies, Mike. Don't you remember?
Oh, that's right. We are.
We're the best of frenemies.
Yeah, but I thought you had accepted that you weren't quite as funny as me. That puts us back in the friend category, doesn't it?
I'm not there yet, but I feel like I'm getting there.
Yeah, well, sure. Ask anyone. Anyone who knows.
That's good.
Anyone who knows us both. It's great to see you, Ned. Ned Rice.
Mike just friend zone you, Ned? Is that what happened?
No.
Pretty much.
My frenemy zoned him.
Pretty much.
We have a new performer, first time performer tonight. Abedin Ambakhuwala.
Yep, that's right.
Originally from the subcontinent, now from Richmond, which is in a way the subcontinent. The way politics have been going.
It's the subcontinent.
I'm sure Richmond had quite a contingent on January 6th. Let's just say that.
You mean at the open house?
Yes, at the open house.
That was a blast.
Did you see? Did you see
It was an open
how
house.
rotunda some of those men were?
It was an open house / yard sale. I saw people picking up some stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Paperweights from.
I'm still waiting for my MAGA Viking hat.
Oh,
I think the Porch Pirates got it, but
yeah.
it's going to look good on Halloween.
Porch Pirate, by the way, is Chuck's.
Hello.
What?
Um,
Feels wrong.
So that means he has a porch at his back door, is what you're talking about, right?
He has a back porch.
Wow.
He has a back porch. He has a back porch, is what I'm saying.
I
Or if
wouldn't take
might
that if
just-
I were you,
I
Chuck.
might just be any hack comic from the 80s. Hey, Chuck, that's an exit, not an entrance.
Ooh.
Wow.
Hey. Thank you.
It'll be here all week.
Used to kill in the 80s. Kill in the 80s. No, it did not. As a matter of fact, it didn't get a laugh then because people were
You know
like,
what else killed in the 80s, Mike?
Oh, no, 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 no.
Never mind.
I know
I
several,
have no idea.
I know
I just
several
thought you
people
might
who
know.
run. Mark David Chapman.
We have a winner.
Yeah. I was at the Improv when that happened.
Really?
Yeah, and somebody came in from Cat.
Look at Mike, still touting his alibi. I was at the Improv.
Hey, I can
And you can
prove
prove
it.
that.
I got witnesses.
Yeah, there were 3 people in the crowd. So,
Several. Hey, there was a lot of people in the crowd. I wasn't on yet.
oh, okay.
It was somebody came down from Catch and said John Lennon's dead. And I was like, hey, come fuck off, you know.
Mm.
Right.
And then it turned out that he was right.
Figures it was a catch comic.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he was his only interest was making sure that he could get down to the Improv to do the first joke about it.
Mhm.
Which incidentally was another thing. When Karen Carpenter died, I was on my way to University of Connecticut to do a gig, and the only thing I thought of when I heard it on the news was, shit, I'm not going to be in the club to do the first joke. You know, you just sort of lose all sense of reality. When you get-
Propriety.
That's an awful feeling.
Yeah, it's an awful feeling, an awful good feeling. Hey,
What?
so anyway, it doesn't always start like this, Abedin.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Sometimes we
Yes,
tell
it
you.
does.
Tonight I had a whole bit that I was going to work on it, but I want to work on
No, you
it
didn't.
when there's more people in the room.
Right.
But the main thing is, I'm just struggling to try and be relevant. And
How's that going?
oh, by the way, to answer your direct,
Say what?
it's not going well.
Okay.
I was, I was going to do a whole bit about it, but I found out my whole bit about trying to stay relevant, it's really dated. So just from Jump Street, I've got a problem, is what I'm saying.
Yes, exactly.
For one thing, I still use the term Jump Street. This
Yeah,
thing,
Von Meter's estate has some issues with your set.
yeah, Von Meter's estate. That's a hot one.
Mhm.
He's buried in a pauper's grave.
Good stuff, Mike. Keep rolling.
You know what he did? The truth is that when JFK was killed, he said, "That's some fun."
What? JFK's been shot?
Yeah, he was shot from a hill
Okay.
in Dallas while they framed a crazy ex-Marine.
And a great patriot.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just trying to cook up
That
a
would have
conspiracy.
been 2 people, because
Yes.
Harvey Oswald was just a nutcase. Anyway, here's my point. When JFK was killed, Von Meter didn't even think it was a bad thing, because he said, "Don't worry about it. I'll just imitate Bobby from now on."
Mhm.
Oh, shut up, all of you. Gee.
And that worked out.
Wow.
So I don't know how familiar you are.
I
with-
don't. I was too young. I don't remember. Was that on 78? Were those on 78? I don't remember.
Hey,
Those
Jeffrey,
records-
what I'm putting together is the lightning isn't happening just in your town, but it's happening right here live.
Is it really? Oh, because my material is so red hot. Okay.
And shocking.
I'm showing flashes of brilliance, is what you're saying.
Hello.
I think it's a little too soon. I think what you're doing is a little too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon.
We're not ready for that yet, Mike.
That's right.
Sure. Hey, there's a new song out. It's the biggest hit in Russia. It's called Putin on the Ritz. What? Come on. Stop it. Stop it. Stop patronizing me.
I heard it was pooping in a box. That's what I heard.
Really? That was by Cat Stevens, right?
Okay.
Pooping in a box, cat. Come
No.
on.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Ned. Come on. Don't make me explain these things to you.
That's right.
Ned and I know each other from New York when we were both doing stand-up in New York before we went on to moderately and very successful comedy writing careers, respectively.
Mike was doing stand-up in comedy clubs.
Yes, I was back in the day when there were comedy clubs.
I did mine in my lonely room.
No, you did stand up. You did gig.
Well, Ned,
dabbed.
you've come a long way.
I have.
Come a long way.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He did stand up in his lonely room. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a good thing you guys are laughing, because if it weren't, we'd just be a bunch of sad old men telling jokes by ourselves in a room. But anyway,
I'm
that's
the Father Mackenzie of this show. Darning my socks in the night when there's nobody there.
good. A Beatles reference. Keep it current, Ned.
Yeah.
Ned was the fifth Beatle. Wasn't he the fifth Beatle? Ned, weren't you the fifth Beatle?
No.
No, I was the fifth.
He wasn't the fifth Beatle. He was the second Mark David Chapman. And he comes around full circle, bam,
Whoa.
right into the 10 ring of the bullseye. And at
Officer
that point,
down.
at the that's the January 6th hearing. So here's what I'm saying. Ordinarily, Abedin, is that pronounced correctly, Abedin?
Yeah, Abedin, that's correct.
All right. I do like what I've done, only prepared and maybe with punchlines for about 5 minutes before I bring it the stack. But tonight, since we seem to be quite a let's call it a compact group.
Right. So,
I'm going to bring you on, as a matter of fact. I don't even have to. Usually I do things like you time yourself, basically, but I'll flash you a light if I think you're going along.
Okay.
At the moment, it looks like we're not going to have a problem with that.
Okay.
Which is funny because we had like 17 comics last time we did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, allegedly, there's going to be people coming in to watch and guess, but I don't know. And anyway, who cares? The thing is, I want to hear you, especially want to hear your comedy because I've never heard it before.
Okay.
And Ned came in a little later, so he doesn't know that you currently hail from Richmond, where I believe, if I'm not incorrect about this, they give out green cards at Popeye's Chicken. Is that correct? So
That's wrong.
No, it's incorrect or just morally wrong.
It's
Well, you know what? Abedin will educate us about all that. So please welcome Abedin Ambakhuwala.
Yay!
Abedin, but I meant Abedin.
Yeah. All right.
Abedin, I know. I mean, that's a common mistake. And you know what? Trust me, my last name, Ambakhuwala, I'm trying somehow, if I can get my last name into spelling bee, then I just want to see how kids can spell my last name, because it took me like at least 10 years to get perfected in my last name. So, but anyway, so what I've come here to talk about is that this is the month of June, all right? And this is the month of June, and my wife and I, we will be celebrating our wedding anniversary.
yeah.
So thank you. Yeah, we've been married for long years. Trust me, like this, at the end of this month, we will be celebrating our 5th wedding anniversary. So it's a long time. Yeah, thank you. So now my wife is an American. All right. So I like to say that every time, because then I can also say that I did not just take away one American job. I also took away one American woman. So
Damn you, Abedin.
So yeah, and also here's the second thing. Now, I don't like to talk about color, all right, but I have to talk about color in the case of my wife, because my wife is white, but she's not just ordinary white, right? She's the whitest of white. She's from Wisconsin, so she's like mozzarella cheese white. So and And she's so white that just imagine her and I, we're standing next to each other, that light falls on her, and when it reflects on me, I look white. So, so
Wow.
exactly, she's that white. So I'm like, from Abedin, I get converted into Albert. So that's the kind of whiteness that reflects from her and falls on me. Now, see, since I'm a foreigner of a year, I did not know how this worked, but I was under the impression that if I get married to a white woman, just like the light reflects on me, some of the white privileges will also reflect on me. But but now that's not how it works. It
Oh, no?
just no, no,
Not
it
while
just
I'm alive, it isn't.
it just so happens that ever since I've got married, I've been going to Target a lot. I've been drinking a lot of Starbucks, doing a lot of barbecue. So basically, I'm just being converted into a white guy without the privileges being reflected on it. So that's all I am. Okay, but now, now serious. Okay, now, I met my wife on Match.com. Okay, Match.com. It's a very nice site. I really love it because it's not like, I wasn't into for any dates or one night, stands or flings or something. I really wanted a partner. So I went to Match.com and I found my wife. But I also saw something really funny out there. Now, see, men and women. All right. Now I'm talking really in biblical terms. All right, like how it is mentioned in the Bible, so or Quran or wherever. Like men looking for women and women looking for men. Right. So what they look for into each other is into the opposite. Your partner is totally different, very very different. Like, see, women look for a lot of things. All right, they have, like, you got to have money, you got to be deaf, you got to love my parents, you got to love my cat, a lot of things, right? But for men look for just two things basically, and I know there are all men over here, you guys will agree. What we look for is, you got to have boobs and you got to feed us. That's it. So these are the these are the two things that men look for. But now, since women are looking for so many things, it turns out that they are always looking for the perfect guy, right? The perfect guy. But now, trust me, the perfect guy is a myth in men, just like the G spot is a myth in women, right? It it might be existing, but you can never find one. You can never find. So based on this, now this is my thoughts. Okay, I have categorized women into categories. Okay, one is those women who spend their whole life looking for the perfect guy, but they never find one. Now the second one is the majority of the women who look for a guy, right, and spend their whole life trying to make that guy perfect. So 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 basically, we call marriage as an institution of love, right? And all that stuff. But what I call is, marriage is nothing but an institution of correction. So that's where all the men go to get
Right, honey?
Mr.
Yep.
Yeah.
You said yes, it's okay.
Okay. To become Mr. Perfect. All right. Now, one last thing, and then I'll get off. So, my wife and I, like, as you know, we are, she's an American, I'm an Indian. One good thing that I like about this relationship is that I understand her language and she doesn't understand my language. So this is very useful in a situation like, say, we are having an argument, right? So now, in every guy's life, in every married couple's life, there is a situation where, all these, you're having an argument, say, for example, and all these words, they come up you know, into your guts, and then they crawl up all the way to your intestine, comes to your mouth, right? And then, just as the words are about to come out, your brain sends out the signal, right? Hey, dude, this is not correct. You can't say this in a relationship. Okay, so abort, mission abort. And then all the words, they go back into your guts. Now, what happens in my situation is that this is really awesome. all the words, same thing happens in any other guy's case. They come all the way to my mouth, right? And as soon as they're about to come out, my brain says, hold on, this is not right. All right. So it sends a signal, change the language. So, so the words that come out of my mouth are in my language. And then my wife just stops me in between and says, hey, what did you just say? What did you just say? And all I go is that I said, I love you in my language. that's what I actually meant. And then, so this, okay, now this worked. Okay, this worked for a few years of my marriage, first 1 or 2 years, but then damn that stupid Google Translate, right?
Oh, no.
Yes. So now, whenever we are in an argument, like she's standing like a cop, like with a taser in her hand, like this. And then, as soon as we're having an argument, she's like this. All right, what did you say? What did you say? Can you repeat it? And then I'm in the same boat. All the words come up into my mouth, and then they just go back into my, my guts, and I've got nothing to say. I think that's my time. That's all I had prepared. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Abedin, welcome. Hang on to that link. Check in and do the show when you feel like it.
Okay,
I'd love to have you back.
I will.
I really thought it was funny, and it sounds like you're married to my wife. Be that as it may, it's not. We have other issues. Here's a cruel thing about stand-up comics. I was doing an open mic one night and talking about how long I've been married, and 5 years. You're barely in pain. But be that as I've been married for a long time, and I used to do this joke. I don't do it anymore for the following reason. I did this joke. I said, yeah, the MC brings me up, and he's a young buck who thinks he's funny as shit, and he's not. But he brings me up. I do my thing. I've been married for a long time, blah, 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 blah. I've been married so long, I met my wife in person. You gotta laugh.
Very funny.
I've been married so long, all I have to look forward to is an early death. And the MC, mind you, says, too late.
Oh.
And I said, why do you want to be like that, man?
And that man's name was.
Well, look, Mike, when I'm the host of the show, I like to.
That man's name was
together
Will
act.
Rogers, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
It was an open mic some time ago.
That's right.
He finally found a man he didn't like.
You don't know who Will Rogers is yet, Abedin? Look him up.
That's right.
I will. Is he a comedian?
Don't
Will
do
Rogers?
jokes about his
He
horse.
was the
and he
most
gets
famous
triggered.
comedian in the world in the 20s and 30s until he
In the
died.
30s, yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's hugely famous, hugely popular. He said, "Oh, here's another thing before I bring on Jeffrey, which is the most famous thing, the most famous quote about from him is that Will Rogers said, 'I never met a man I didn't like.'" And there's a movie director named Ridley Scott, who I'm sure you know,
Yeah.
very famous, and apparently the biggest asshole in show business, which is saying. And
Gladiator.
on one of his movies, the crew had T-shirts made up and said, "Will Rogers never met Ridley Scott." And I love that. I love that story. And okay, so that's the sort of time-honored material. This is why I wasn't doing the bit about trying to stay relevant, Chuck, because I've now got a 100-year-old reference and talked about slave owners writing the Constitution. For some reason, I'm not, really up to date.
You're doing the classics.
You should open with, "Hey, I'm bisexual," and then go into the material about
Right.
the Constitution, because that's the hippest thing today is to be.
Well, good luck on vaudeville, Mike. That's all I can tell
Thank you. Yeah, vaudeville. It's dying, I hear. So anyway, we have somebody from Richmond, Virginia. Here's somebody coming to us from Toledo, Ohio.
Toledo.
Yep, Toledo, Ohio speaks for itself, but not in big words. Oh,
Do you
don't
know-
awe me. Don't awe me. Be there sometime.
Does
Tell
he know
him about
Klinger? Do you know Klinger? I know Toledo.
I'll listen slower.
I probably know him.
Yes, Jamie Farr is from Toledo, yes.
Yes, I know that. But thanks
Why
for
didn't you
showing me.
jump in there, Mike?
I would like to. I would like
It's a
to.
far way to go for trivia.
Oh,
There's the Chuck I used to know.
Thank you, Ned.
yeah, Chuck, you're off the show.
How long can we keep Mike from doing the intro? How long
I
can
don't know. It's like one of those stories about Vietnam when they would shoot the Kong guy on the wire and see how long they could keep him up before he fell.
Kong guy.
Wow.
King
I think that is-
Kong? King Kong?
You know, and you know what I'm doing? I'm introducing a veteran on top of it.
That is
Yes,
how you
I
say
keep
that
it
in an
better.
equity meeting.
Not how I say it. He's Vietnam. Let's call him a Kong guy.
I think we can hold you up for at least another 4 minutes before you actually introduce Jeffrey. I believe in this group. I believe Jeffrey-
Apologies to Matt Damon.
That's right.
Jeffrey can look patient for another.
That's right.
He looks
3 to 4
patient,
minutes.
but he's not feeling patient. He would love to just start his material.
Jeffrey, don't worry. This doesn't count against your time. It's all right. It's all right.
Hey, you're not running this, Mike. Okay? Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I really like Jeffrey Burden a lot, and I think he's a funny guy who's been improving greatly over the time that he's been doing the mic. And I always like to introduce him, and sometimes I don't get a chance to. But here he is. Jeffrey Burden II.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Chip, just to be clear, how much time do I have on this mic? I just want to know. I gotta time myself.
Hey, don't you ask Chip. Don't
Jeffrey,
you fucking ask Chip. how much
as
time
much
it
as
is.
you want,
Oh,
sir.
good Lord.
As much as you want,
Everybody
Jeffrey.
froze.
No, shut up, Chip. God damn you.
Everybody froze just
damn
now.
you.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Wait, let me put up the Netflix logo
Hold
before you
on.
start. Okay.
All right. Oh no, we've got a voice but no picture. He's frozen.
Well, I think it's high time Toledo got wired for the internet. What do you guys think?
He's got. So there's a storm where Jeffrey is, and
Oh.
what amazing timing.
It's
True
true.
here too.
Can we hear it? Can we hear you talk?
Oh.
You're just
I'm
totally
guessing his power just went out.
broken. Okay, here's the thing.
If he had just started a couple minutes earlier.
Calling an audible. Chip,
Yes.
you're up, buddy.
Okay, I'm up.
And when I hope that Jeffrey
Jeffrey comes in.
Burton just
He's
got back. Wait,
returning.
hold on
He's-
1 second.
He's returning. So
Okay.
Chip, thank you.
Hold on
for
I'll
being
gladly
so
step to the
amiable.
side. I'll step to the
Yay.
side.
Are you there?
Yes, I am. I think that was on my side of the
That's what we
Zoom
thought.
call. Yes.
That's
Right.
really,
Thank you.
that really didn't count against your time.
Thank you.
Like the phony baloney shit that Chip's peddling over there.
All right.
But anyway, Jeffrey Burton, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Hi. Thank you so much, everybody. Toledo is well known for Jamie Farr. That's right.
Mhm.
Jamie Farr. The chili dogs he ate in Toledo. That recipe is very famous. The gas you have after you eat the chili dog it's not famous. There's nothing famous about that gas. No. Anyways, I was thinking about. I am a student of jujitsu, Japanese jujitsu to be more specific, which is stand up. It's a mixture of judo, standing up, punching, kicking, takedowns, and then on the ground is the jujitsu aspect of it, where you're sort of trying to submit somebody and whatnot. And when I was a little kid, my mother had this to deal with bullies. Her approach was turn the other cheek. And after a while, you get hit so much in the face, turning the cheek becomes really easily. It's just like, okay, it's all natural eventually, So I remember this one bully I had, my mother approached him and I know. My mother approached him and said, I must have been 10 at the time. He must have been 11. She said, how would you like to earn some money by shoveling our walkway? And he said, yeah. And she was giving it back then. She was giving him dimes, dimes, maybe $1 tops, right? So I thought, eventually I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to stand tall if somebody would, bully me a little bit. And I thought maybe my mother could give me a couple bucks a month for shoveling her walkway too. I thought that would be, something to, it can be difficult. It can be difficult being bullied. It can be very difficult. How many times do I have to say that? That was like a triple bogey with the difficult, right? Jesus. I was bullied a lot. More than not, I was probably the nice guy. Too nice. But people are getting hurt. Very hurt nowadays, right? The shootings and whatnot, and it's just I have to say to myself, you can't always think about your experiences and go, it works for that person. But for me, it's like I had bad days a lot being a bullied guy. You know what I mean? And but Travis Bickle had bad days too. But he saved a 12-year-old whore. That's what he did with his gun. All right. Well, I just saw the movie like a year ago, so it's still fresh in my mind. I can't tell that joke to 20-year-olds. They're like, who the hell is Travis Bickle? I can't tell that to them. I am a veteran, and in basic training, we had to shoot firearms for a day. Plenty of coverage there in case the shit hits the fan. We had our share of push-ups and sit-ups, but then we also had to iron our underwear. And I just thought to myself, God, I'm terrible. I was terrible at ironing before I enlisted, and I did it years before I enlisted. I was just awful at it, and I thought to myself, I don't know if I'm going to make it. But why would they put so much focus on ironing your underwear? It's like, is this in the real world Air Force? Are we going to have to worry about this? Attention all personnel, man your ironing boards. No, you're not going to hear that. A bomb goes off, a troop takes a hit, the sergeant says, hold on, airman, you got to hold on. No. Sarge, I forgot the spray starch. No, this is not going to happen. All right, everybody. Mike, how am I doing on time, sir? I
wasn't keeping track.
You got 43 minutes. You got 43 minutes.
All right, thanks, everybody. Listen, I just want to say I appreciate it. It's a great show, and my name's Jeffrey Burden II. Hey, have a good night. Huh?
Yeah.
Yay! Very much. A pleasure. A pleasure to see you again, Jeffrey, by the way. Instead of just seeing your name on the YouTube, as Chuck likes to call it.
Right. I like that bit, I don't know that it's a premise yet, but the one of your mom talking to the bully. It made me laugh. That was a real laugh.
The fact that your mom.
Yeah, I think even if you have to fictionalize that, it do an impression of her almost like right away. Talking to the bully. It's as authentic as the ironing your underwear thing.
Look, Colin, I understand nobody likes Jeffrey, but I understand. But when you get older, you're going to be ashamed.
That's right.
You're going to be ashamed of doing this. And oh, by the way, if you stop hitting my kid, I'll let you mow my lawn for $1.
Yeah, that's just another turnaround. I didn't expect that at all, but I wanted to hear what does she say. I pictured her right at the school. Anyway, I'm gonna step out of my own production.
What do you? I don't understand it.
I interrupted the show. It's technically my show, but it's your show, and you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying, and you've never been polite, so it
In
doesn't.
other words, Chuck, you're out.
Oh, no, Chuck makes, if it weren't for Chuck, there'd be no show. If it
That's
weren't
right.
for Chuck, we'd just be a bunch of lonely guys telling jokes in a room by ourselves.
Chuck is the lube of the show. He keeps everything running smooth.
Yeah, he's the lube. I was gonna say he was the glue that holds it together. Probably right. He is.
Chuck, do you know what lube is?
Ah,
It's a term that may have not,
yeah.
you may not have encountered that term.
Admittedly, you probably didn't learn what it was until you got out of prison. But,
Boobs for pussy.
Oh,
but it's a question of. I don't know, never mind. Doesn't matter. Hey, and speaking of fresh out of prison, our next
Yay.
performer.
Wow.
Oh, hello.
hello.
He's never been in prison. That's what
No.
makes him
Ouch.
unique.
He was in Facebook jail. That's close enough.
That's
Uh,
true.
That's right. That's true. Ned Rice, ladies and gentlemen, Facebook jail.
That's right.
That joke was very meta.
I know.
See what I mean? It was
No, I
very,
do not.
yeah.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Hey, Ned, did you get the money I put in your commissary account while you're in there? Did you?
Yeah, sent your card.
I did. Thank you. Thank you, Chip. The guys say hi.
Anyway, so here's Payback's a bitch, isn't it? Now you can't get introduced.
My bitch is actually named Payback. That's
right.
her
And, you know,
name.
Consider, I think Chuck knows him because it's his grinder name. Anyway, please welcome.
Grinder.
Man, we're killing us tonight, aren't we?
Now I have to pretend I don't know what that means.
You know what the show, when the show is kind of light like this, what I love about it is we don't have to be funny and we can still laugh.
Right,
But anyway,
we
our
we
next
just sold a
performer-
ticket. So if
hey,
if we
shut
could-
up, everybody.
I'm just telling you to bring the game up. We just sold a ticket.
Oh, we did. Oh, geez. Okay.
But I still want to be on the show, though.
Lorna.
They didn't know you were going to be there. That's obviously they bought the ticket. But anyway, it's our next performer from Washington, D.C. Wonderful guy, and I love him. Not in a creepy way yet, but he always brings an interesting insight to the show, and I like that about him. I like a lot of things about him, but that's one of them. Please welcome Chipp Jones.
Yay.
All right.
Hey. Thanks, Mike. When you said you liked me, I thought he was bringing up Ned. I really did. But Abedin, man, I gotta
Knows
say,
how much you don't know me.
that's right. Abedin, it's nice having you here. I mean, it warmed my heart to hear you say, you've been in this relationship for a long time, 5 years. I was like, oh my God, I mean, I'm at 30. If I knew at 5 years what I know now, I'd be a single man. I mean, I would. No, not really. But sometimes I think that way, especially with Father's Day coming up. I don't know if you have any kids, Abedin. I don't know if do you have any children?
I have one daughter.
You have one daughter.
Yeah.
You're looking forward to Father's Day as well coming up.
Yeah, I got my gift.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, my wife has a habit of ruining Father's Day for me. Like last year, I'll tell you, last year I woke up that Sunday and I was twinkle in my eye. I was, really excited. And she's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, it's Father's Day. And I'm thinking of a special gift I want for Father's Day. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, Father's Day. I was kind of hoping to get a blowjob for Father's Day. She's like, that's disgusting. I said, but it's Father's Day. Can't I get what I want for Father's Day? And she looks me right in the eye and she goes, okay, I'll tell the kids, but I think they already got you a tie. I'm like, oh, come on. Please.
Completely misunderstood you, Chip.
Please. I mean,
I saw that, Ned.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chip. Sorry. Sorry to
What did I
interrupt.
miss? What did Ned do? What did Ned do?
You went like this.
I threw a gang sign, I think.
Yeah, my wife is in a gang.
Mm.
But yeah, 30 years in, Aberdeen. I mean, that's I wish you the luck, you know. In fact, our 30th anniversary, I tried to do the due diligence, went to the wedding website to see what the proper gift was for 30 years. You know what it is?
Divorce?
No, it's Pearl. Pearl is the proper gift.
Oh,
But when I went to my bank website, it said back rub. Back rub is the proper gift.
Traditional.
My wife got a back rub for me and a little card from Wells Fargo saying we were overdrawn. So that's how our anniversary went. The news, I don't know. Mike, you watching the June 6th committee?
I watched a little bit of it. It's so appalling. It's not as appalling as watching our show from an escape room like Lorna's doing, but it's appalling.
But it's still amazing all the Trumpers that are on my social media that are complaining about how, it's so well polished, it's like a production, they're making everything so, new video, everything is all about the show. It's not about the details. I'm like, are you watching the same thing? Oh, that's right. You guys are watching it on Fox. I got it. They're watching the Cliff Notes, I think is what they're watching.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know where we're heading, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I think I told, go ahead.
No, never mind. This is your time.
Well, I told you before that I have a conservative white neighbor. I think I told you about that, who actually was there on January 6th. He didn't attack the Capitol, but he was at that Trump rally beforehand. And I just had to tell him, I said, those Trump rallies are racist. And he said, no, they're not. He goes, I was down there and there were a lot of Black people at that Trump rally. And I thought for a moment, and then I understood exactly what he meant, because I know if I went to a Trump rally and I saw one Black person, I'd be like, damn, there are a lot of Black people at this Trump rally. So, yeah, and that, that's probably the only time where a Black guy and conservative white guy agreed on what a lot of Black people were, one. Conservative white guy tells he's got a lot of Black friends. That's what he means. He's got one. So, I don't know, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here, because I can't be anywhere else.
Oh,
My wife is making.
I'm glad you're here too.
My wife is making me stay home because she wants to keep an eye on me. I don't know,
Mhm.
something. I haven't got my allowance yet. Abedin, do you get an allowance?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Because that's how you have a successful marriage. They say that the most successful marriages are called the yes dear marriages. And that means that anything she says, you just answer yes dear, You don't try to correct, or you don't try to, you just say yes dear, And I love that, But there's some flaws, like my wife will never make decisions about what we should eat, like if we're going to go out someplace, and she was like, well, where do you want to go? And it's like, well, where do you want to go? She goes, no, I want you to decide. And I'm like, okay, let's go to Red Lobster. No, I don't want to do that, but where do you want to go? Well, I wanted to go to Red Lobster. No, I don't want to go there, but where do you want to go? So I don't know. I wish you luck, sir. I'm 30 years in, and like I said before, if I had murdered a man, I'd have been out for 10 years, but that's where I'm at. I think that's my time. I thank you guys for listening. Thanks, Mike.
Yay.
Thanks, Chuck.
Oh, it was my pleasure to hear you and see you. Wow, I could have killed two guys and been out like that.
Well, that's because you're white.
But, oh,
Why do you always make a race? I was talking about I've been married for longer than you've been married. That's all. I could have. What I'm saying is I could have had. You know what? Shut up, Chip. It's always about
Oh, come on, Mike. It's funny because it's true.
poor little baby, 400 years of institutional slavery.
Ah,
Wah, wah, wah. Take a tip from Texas, buddy. That should
You're-
never happen.
You're always talking about how I'm always peddling something, but I'm like, as fat as I am, I don't peddle anything. I just sit and coast. The most I'm going to do is coast.
You can't fit on a recumbent bike,
That's
ladies and
right.
gentlemen, which is very funny if you belong to a health club. It doesn't look like anybody here does. Okay.
No.
I
I'm
do.
just
They have a
kidding.
snack bar.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Snack bar. I want service.
I kid because I
want
love the kid. We have a new, I sent you a thing in the private chat asking if you were going to be doing a set tonight, Lorna, if you just came to watch. I don't know. But if you wanted to do stand-up, you can do stand-up. Well, obviously, that's what this is. It's an open mic. But Sarah said she just came to cheer people on, so I'm not bugging her about it.
Yay.
Yay.
And I'm glad that you came to cheer people on. Thank you. Our next performer, use the term. Well, never mind. I used the term.
Promiscuously.
No. You know, I was going to make a snotty remark, Ned, but you don't need that. You
That's
don't
so
need
not like you, Mike.
that. I know. No.
You fucking dick.
I thought I'd try something else. I'd try something like dickish tonight for a change of pace.
But you know,
But at any rate,
your act has been working for 30 years. Why change it?
yes, it has been working. I've been told I suck by people with real talent, Rice. So watch your stuff.
Rice. Okay. We're on a second name basis.
I suck. I suck. That's a grinder name, isn't it? Is that right?
Yay.
Yes, but it's not my grinder name.
As far as you know.
My grinder name is Mike Langworthy. So do whatever you want with that, folks.
Yeah, well, you'll be doing absolutely nothing with that as your grinder.
Okay.
There'll either be people who have no idea who you are or people who know who I am, and in either case, no chance. So please welcome, if you will, because I love this guy, and I think you can tell by the way we've been bantering with that sort of frenemy kind of vibe that we have.
Right.
It's so
We go
hilarious.
way back.
Yeah, because we go way back.
Mm.
What is it, 6-8 months now?
At least. Seems like longer.
This guy, he comes to us from near Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Mhm.
I would tell you where, but it is SIO, isn't it?
Mike, I'm in the witness protection program, so let's not get into that. It's better that we don't get specific, you know.
Oh, that's why you use the name Ned Rice, right?
That's right.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's obviously a phony name.
Mhm.
No, it's a name nobody. It's a name nobody.
Who would name a
His-
child that? What kind of
his ri-
sick? Oh,
His real name is Red Nice. That's
stop with that.
Yeah, he's fooled everyone so far.
that's right.
Please welcome, if you will, Ned Rice, ladies. And
Oh,
gentlemen.
thank you, Mark, or whatever your name is. That's so nice. Before I go into my comedy stylings, just a quick correction. There's been a few references to the events of January 6th. Just to let you know, the supporters of our former president refer to that date as Jan-teenth.
Oh,
Free at last.
Wow.
Too
Oh,
Free
soon.
at
my
last.
God.
So
Too soon.
just going forward, it's good to know. I've actually had a rough couple days. I spent the last few days with my mother. She's 95 years old, and she's in critical condition. There's nothing wrong with her health. She's perfectly healthy. She's just very critical. Why aren't you using your degree? Is that how people dress nowadays? Like, oh, mom, please. My mom is still very sharp, though. She's got all her marbles, but she's starting to lose her hearing. For example, my mom thinks I'm a stand-up Canadian, which it's an honest mistake. You know, are you going to the Canadian club? Yes, Mom. I do that joke about blowjobs, Mom. You know, I'm a professional stand-up Canadian. I think I know how to put together a set list. Actually, we spent the whole weekend together. This weekend in Detroit it was all festivals. In Detroit was the LGBTQ Pride Festival, and also the Irish Festival. In other words, we had a Pride Festival and a Shame Festival, really. So we chose Shame because we're Irish.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Let's see. Oh yes, I've been watching my favorite new show. Maybe you've seen it. It's a reality show. It's called My 600-Pound 90-Day Fiance. It's a wonderful program. These big fat people just have 3 months to get married, or else they get voted off the island. It's a wonderful show. But see, it just bespeaks our national obesity crisis. I'm actually the face of the obesity crisis. But the thing is, we're getting fatter as a country, and we just accept it. For example, high school bullies are complaining that nerds and losers are getting so fat, it's hard to shove them into their own lockers. So they're making lockers wider now. So I just feel like that's just conceding the fight. Mike, you remember. I'm against that. I know this all stuff because I'm a teacher. I'm a middle school teacher, which is just the joy of my life. And it's very different this year, though, because of the trans movement. We have a lot of trans students, which is wonderful. Everyone's very, very supportive. But, honestly, no matter how you feel about the trans movement, you have to admit, at least the kids now know what a pronoun is. Which in my day, I didn't know any of the parts of speech. Now they know. Next week, we're going to try verbs, I think.
Bravo.
Speaking of which, this is interesting. The other day, I met a Scottish trans woman. And I knew she was a Scottish trans woman because she was Scottish and she was wearing pants. So that's how I knew, because you see, Scottish men tend to wear, Does anyone know anything about Scottish men?
Explain that.
The Scottish trans woman's preferred pronouns were I, ach, and we. That's how I knew.
You killed with that joke.
Sorry,
Oh.
I didn't hear that, Mike.
I said you killed with that joke.
Oh, okay. So we're doing puns now. Okay, I'll talk slower. I have neighbors, my good friends that live next door. It's an Asian family, and they're taking their little boy out of the public schools, and they're going to homeschool him. So I said to the guy's father, I said, "Let me ask you something. How goddamn smart do you want this kid to be?" Okay, he's already Asian. He's wearing pull-ups and he's in AP calculus. How much you're going to homeschool him? That seems. How about leaving a few spots in colleges for my kids? How about that, huh? Okay. To our new member, that's a racist joke, which we don't encourage on the show, but it happens now and then. So that was more like, sort of a word to the wise.
Just to clarify, we don't encourage it either.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually make a joke like that in real life. So I don't know if you've seen, has anyone seen the new Top Gun movie, perhaps?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
What did you think? Was it good?
I liked it a
It
lot.
was good. I was surprised, but it was good.
It's surprisingly good. It's a little different though. No, Tom Cruise is 59 years old. So when those flyboys climb aboard those F-18s, he's eligible for pre-boarding, which is nice. He gets a little extra time to go down the jetway. And I don't know if does anyone remember the first Top Gun movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
You see, it wasn't as good, I thought. I thought it was rather homoerotic, honestly. If that movie was any more gay, it would have been called Bottom Gun. That's what I think about that movie.
Hello.
Okay, fine. Just chuck it random
Well, I like
stuff. Okay, so this is going very poorly. I don't know if you heard about Ukraine. Ukraine is a mess, and but in order to protest the Russian invasion of Ukraine, McDonald's has closed all of their restaurants in Russia. Boy, that'll show them, huh? The average Russian's life expectancy just went up 10 years. But as it turns out, the McDonald's menu was not a good fit for Ukraine, or for Russia, rather. For example, the vodka McFlurry was not a big seller. Nobody seemed to want it. The happy to control the means of production meal, similarly, not successful. Yeah. I have a lot of free time. Anyway, But Ukraine, as bad as Ukraine is, people forget Afghanistan is still a mess. Still a lot of suffering and pain, a lot of hungry, sick people getting killed. Afghanistan's a mess, but I thought that's really sad, but gosh, that's halfway around the world. What does that have to do with me? And I got my heroin bill this week. It's like doubled. Afghan heroin is through the ceiling. My girlfriend doesn't have that kind of money. Come on. What's going on? Well, this has been thoroughly demeaning. Thank you for your casual indifference. And I turn it back over to TV's Mike Langworthy. Thank you all.
Ned Rice, come on.
Right. Yeah.
Yay.
That was,
Wow. That was a
Really
career
interesting.
ender.
can't wait for the rebuttal from our Scottish comedian. And she's taking notes right now, Ned. If I were you, this would be a great time to get off the call. I'm kidding. Come on, I kid because I love to kid.
The critical condition joke was one of my favorites.
Especially people who are the harp seals of comedy, like Ned.
Well, that's what you meant by club.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Welcome to the club.
Chuck, what was your favorite joke?
The critical condition joke.
Oh, you just, okay. Well, that's,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you
Yeah.
for enjoying my mother's pain. That's great. That's,
Is it your mother's pain or your pain?
Yeah, it's your mother's
they're
joke.
one and the same.
He's got a little pain and he's done a good job of using humor to, all right.
Yeah. Well, he really
Laugh, clown, laugh.
he put that joke together well. He was laughing through the tears, and I understand that. I really do, because I know a lot of people who love their mothers. I don't happen to be one of them, neither mine nor theirs. But that's neither here nor there. This is the open mic, and during the open mic, we run through, a bunch of public service announcement, usually in the middle of the show. But tonight there was a little turnout issue, so we're going to do it closer to the closing of the show. So here's the deal. I support and am currently co-writing this year's Magic Moments show. Magic Moments is an organization that is fully inclusive and puts on a jukebox musical every year with roughly 40 songs in it, all of which are ASCAP and BMI licensed. So you can go to the show or see it online, convinced that every single song you hear is going to be at least famous, and most of them are great songs. The lyrics are repurposed for the show. I'm involved in that and also writing the dialogue for the show, and my daughter performs in it every year. I love it. The people who go to see the show give it a great deal of praise, and not just because my daughter's in it, but because it's an amazing thing. Large cast production, average cast is about 180 people, ranging in age from 4 to 80, and somehow they make it work. They make it work every year. It's a magic trick, and hence Magic Moments Incorporated.org. So if you're ever in, this year's show will be over spring break in 2023. Is that what year this is? Yes, 2022.
No.
It will be 2020.
2023 is when the show will be on. And if you can't make it to the show, and the guys from Richmond, you should come, Abedin. It makes a great vacation. Denver's a beautiful place. But in case you can't make it, you can always go to magicmomentsinc.org, donate a few dollars, and help people with a wide range of special needs, interact with people who have a wide range of experience in the musical theater, and they put on a really entertaining show. I'm hoping we'll be able to live stream it next year as well. We did this year because of the pandemic. And that's my spiel. And Chuck,
Mike.
is there anything that you support?
Gosh, Mike, Elevating Connections.
What?
A terrific charity that puts on programs that support youth who've been separated from their siblings by the foster care system. They also put on programs for youth who are transitioning through systems of care or whatnot. You know what they are? Is they're the people I call. I teach at Community College of Denver, and from time to time when I have a student in trouble, needs their phone bill paid or something like that, usually I call Elevating Connections and get that person some help. So I appreciate them. They do great work. They put on a poetry jam every year. The poetry jam sort of inspired our virtual comedy shows. I really like working with them. We donate 10% of every one of our tickets goes to support Elevating Connections, as well as 10% of our fees for private events and whatnot. I believe that
Those are reasonable fees, are they not, Chuck?
exorbitant fees, actually. Mike, if I have to get you to leave the Langworthy cave, it's going to cost some people a shit ton of fucking money.
Well, it costs a couple of bucks. I've made a few bucks in this business, and I'm not leaving the house for less than $20.
Right. So I mark that up ×3, and I'll sometimes charge people $60 for a budget. We'll donate $6 to Stacy, and you wouldn't believe what she does with kids.
And sometimes if I'm not on the show, it's a lot larger budget.
Right.
Wait, that's
People actually now pay Magic. They pay Colorado comedy shows to book shows that I'm not on.
Oh,
Premium
Right.
shows that I'm not on.
but they should pay a lot. They're buying back their souls. those
Mike
dirty
is booked to go with us to Mike is booked to go with us to Vernal, Utah. So he's on the rotation.
Did you say Vernal?
companies.
Vernal, Utah?
Oh, I thought it was Venial. Shit, I was gonna
2023.
go for this. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So
The Cardinals
either
play
way,
there.
we have fun shows coming up. If you'd like to follow our shows on anchor.fm, just search for my name at the end there. You can find all the open mics up there. Find our link tree. It needs water. Gosh, it's hot outside. So if you can go to linktree/Colorado Comedy, join our link tree, find our socials there. Of course, if you're watching on the YouTubes, we appreciate you on the YouTubes there. Catherine Shea, nice to hear from you as well. Another great open mic comic saying hello on and noticing Mike's haircut. So glad she said hi. And we do have gifts. So Lorna, I was able to bump you up to the VIP seating. So feel free to enjoy these VIP treats for our VIP customers. And those, oh, you're very welcome. Those of you in general admission, you're not to enjoy these prizes. I have special prizes for you coming up. Those of you watching on the YouTube, you get general admission prizes. You do not get our really cool bandwagon. This is yours, Lorna. Colorado Avalanche virtual bandwagon. Just like me, you can get on the bandwagon and cheer for the Avalanche this week. First game of the Stanley Cup is Wednesday. They'll be playing the Tampa Bay Lightning, I think, or the other team.
Yes, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Look at Mike also. He rides with me in the bandwagon.
Mhm.
We go to Winchell's Donuts afterwards and we play Dungeons and Dragons.
Who drives? Who drives?
I drive.
He's
Also, gas is expensive. So, Lorna, I got you your own virtual Circle K. Enjoy. You can virtually fill up anywhere you want. That's
Premium? Premium?
yeah, premium. Go right ahead. Go on inside. Get a Slurpee. Have a good time.
well, you won't be getting a
it's all-
Slurpee from Circle K, but we get the principle.
Haven't had a Slurpee in a long time.
right.
What
Well,
a drink like
yeah.
that.
Now you've got your own place to go, right there virtually for you. This has been a VIP prize for probably a year now, Mike.
Yeah.
Hello.
Talk about Slurpees. Oh.
Hey,
They just keep coming back for more. Keep coming back for more.
Was this from Top Gun?
Yes. Beach
I think it
volleyball.
was.
This is from the beach
yeah.
volleyball scene.
Mhm, mhm. Which one of them is going to play the ball? Okay.
Ooh.
But feel free, Lorna, to enjoy your washboard abs and a traditional gift to Carol Channing. You get your own very fine virtual Carol Channing. And
That sounds like a
ship?
good gift. What exactly does it sound like though, Chuck?
Oh, Jesus, Carol Channing. It just sounds like that, Lorna. You take that anytime you get on the Love Boat and you just ask for Merle Stubing. My good friend is the captain.
And what would be
Oh my
a
God.
girl's? What are a girl's best friend again?
Diamonds.
Okay. Just checking. Just checking.
Did I screw up the joke? All right. Either way, Lorna, just in case you have supply chain issues, I got you this virtual supply ship. For whatever you need, it's there. And then it's fucking hot. So I was like, we need a cool place to swim. So I got you this, Lorna. You can just chill. This is in the backyard of the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual events center. Just so you know, at 2:15, Mike uses the lake.
I don't like
Yeah.
people watching.
Wanted to get you some grilled arrangements. I'm not.
Haven't had a sausage in a long time either.
Hey, hello.
I just asked Chuck. He'll send you the link to it.
Thank you.
Oh,
Wow. I see what he did there, ladies and gentlemen. And wouldn't be a great meal at Colorado Comedy Shows if you didn't get a salad. From
Absolutely.
Chef Mark Scapone, lead chef at the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual event center. And
Nothing like bratwurst in a salad. Mm.
Mhm. General admission friends, those of you up there on the
Chuck,
balcony, we
just
got
FYI, Chuck, you don't have to eat the whole thing at once. You don't have to
Right.
swallow it from one end.
right. I got you this gas pump, the one. You get the one. Feel free to cruise on over. Also got you some ice cream. You have to share it, but what can you say? That's we've got Leandra has got ice cream for you, and we have make your own ice cream. Really self-serve. Yeah. Wouldn't be delicious ice cream if you didn't have a delicious salad.
Little salad and a half calf.
Gotta make certain you've got.
Oh, I thought it was a deal special. Sorry.
Salad.
Yeah.
No, that was the big reveal.
As always, we like to give away a gift to the heterosexuals who are with us. So
I think we can postpone that for a week.
enjoy that. Enjoy your heterosexual gift.
I like that car.
That's actually a heterosexual woman that was run into by a homosexual man.
yeah, she's dead. It's a shame.
Or just looks it. Either way, it reminds me of my sex life. So what are you gonna do?
Tell me
Chuck?
about it.
Right. Speaking of your sex life, Mike, I see where you got things cut short.
Oh,
Well,
Oh,
everything's short on me.
Well, I have a fresh haircut. I said,
Yeah, you do.
I really told you, I said, make me look like Alabama going to the Grammys in 1984.
Uh-huh. Is
Yeah,
that what
I
it
think-
looks like? Because
I think she nailed it.
I wouldn't watch the Grammys on a dare, so I don't know what you're talking about. So we have the option of you doing a little material now, since we have kind of a light show, Chuck, or we could have Lorna, and then you could bring up the rear, if so to speak, which is
Wow.
generally
that's
Also
another
is grinder.
grinder,
Whoa.
right? Bring up the rear.
Usually not the lightest one on the show, but I've been known to bring up the rear. Let's have Lorna. It's just so super fun.
Okay. From Scotland, Chuck, maybe we should get Ned back in the screen before we bring a Scottish performer up to explain how things really work north of the border.
That's right.
Please
So
do.
anyway, clap for Lorna Batters, everybody.
Yay!
hello. First of all, Ned. The last time, you know what happened? The last time somebody called a man's outfit a skirt in Scotland?
Tell me.
Kilt.
There we go.
Ah.
Anyway, I wasn't expecting this, so let me just. It's not very long.
That's my nickname on Grindr. Okay.
So, okay, so hi.
Hi.
I'm Lorna. I'm Lorna. And you'll just have to bear with me because apparently spring's just started. I've been away for a few weeks, so I haven't done this one yet. So yeah, spring is here. Yeah, so birds do it, bees do it, even raccoons in my treehouse do it. Lucky bastards. Yeah, spring. Yeah, it's the time of year that Mother Nature likes to remind me that I have no sex life at all. I don't know what's worse. The fact that the ducks are constantly shagging in my pool and I'd see it, or the fact that I'm starting to find it kind of hot. I am married. I've been married 21 years, which is why I have no sex life, obviously. But unfortunately, I found out a little while ago that I've been replaced. I've seen them together. I mean, they're not even subtle. He's at it with her in my house while I'm here. He's even asked me to watch. And it's just, I found out her name. It's PS5. So apparently that makes me the Xbox.
Oh! That's how you do a pun, Chuck. That's how you do a pun.
So I decided, well, put up with this long enough. It's time for me to find a lover. So I did. He's not much of a talker, but you know, apparently I can easily turn him on. And he just like, you know, helps me fill that void. You know? Now I'll tell you his name, but just keep it to yourselves, right? It's the Rabbit DP 5000. So who says you can't buy love?
That's right.
That's all I got.
Hey. He's not much of a singer, but he hums like hell.
There you go.
She's going to go through a battery of tests to make sure everything's okay.
Oh. She should call him Eddie.
That was very touching.
Thank you. You're damn right it is.
There's a lot of buzz about that joke.
Oh.
Okay, let's just pump the brakes and decel the show a little bit. We've got a guy on the show who, man, when he, in the old days when he did comedy, man, that was so funny. And I've seen him doing shows lately and he's really funny. I don't know what happened in all those years in between, but it's great to see him back on top of his game and wearing a haircut that makes him look, I'm trying a little too hard. And,
You say, wait, you say he's on top now? He's no longer on top?
he has always been on top, always. We met in jail, so I know. Please. It's the guy. We wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for Chuck, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Chuck gets the show going. He's the one that's responsible for the great turnouts we have. Anyway, he's a hell of a comedian, always has been, and probably always will be. So please welcome the immortal Chuck Roy. Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck.
geez.
God's sake.
Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that. Immortal, don't I wish. Everyone who's ever put me in a movie's dead, Mike. I think I'm on the way next. What can you do? Mike, I've been reflecting, and it's because I wear a lot of aluminum, but I've been looking through old photos, Mike, and I think I found the photo where my parents figured out how gay I was gonna be, long before I knew, and that's the story I'm gonna bring to you today, my friend Mike. First, I should say, Chipp Jones, happy Father's Day. Father's Day is Pride here. So in Denver, we have Gay Pride and Father's Day all on the same day. So for this Father's Day, Chipp, I'm getting a blowjob. Sorry about your poor choices, but
Can you split yours with me? Can you?
Probably. I'll send a twink your way, my friend. My sister's coming here for my 50th birthday. That's coming up this summer, Mike. Feel free to start your shopping now. If you are ever lucky enough to be friends with my sister, know this. She could use some cheering up. They kicked 2 people out of her sewing club for sharing needles. And that's just gonna, now you get. She just needs a good hug or something. She'll send a card for everything. My sister sends cards. I know I'll get a birthday card. That's a no-brainer. We get Easter cards. We're Catholic. Christmas cards, of course. Halloween, we're not pagan. St. Patrick's Day is really the one where you go, Linda, we are clearly not Irish. And Arbor Day was the one where I drew the line. I was like, honey, how about an e-card for Arbor Day? I think the trees would really appreciate that. We grew up in New Hampshire. That's against the Merrimack River, Mike. That's, you might know it. You might have sailed it one day or driven alongside. But we grew up in Hudson. And across the river was Nashua. Now, Merrimack and Nashua are Native American names. They come from the indigenous peoples. Of course, Merrimack was a more famous tribe, but Nashua was one of the original indigenous peoples of New Hampshire. Now, Hudson was named after the guy who brought a cannon that could shoot far enough to cross the river. Okay, not the space for colonial jokes. All right. Not my fault or what the outcome is. What I'm saying is I loved growing up against the Merrimack River. We had a little spot. We called it the spot. That's where we'd spend summer days. Just, where are you going? We're going to the spot. And it's where I first learned to be an entertainer, Mike. I'd sing songs about whatever was coming down the river. You know, I'd be like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-da. It's a Pepsi can coming down the river, and I'd sing the Pepsi theme song. Mike, you lived in Los Angeles. I lived in Los Angeles. And if you've ever been to the LA River, what a place to sit along and sing songs inspired by whatever floats down the river. The songs are a little more like, hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Does he know you're floating all alone? And oh, that the river's on fire. Oh, the river's on fire. Sorry, I think that's my Springsteen cover. I was thinking about the lunchroom. Of course, I was thinking about the lunchroom. Remember this? Like, we had teachers, Ned, you teach elementary school. Do you have to do this in the cafeteria? Like, teachers would put up 2 fingers and that meant silent. Like, you had to be quiet. And I would lose my shit as soon as I saw the 2 fingers. You know how verbose I can be. But I'd see those 2 fingers. I'd be like, yeah. right? And one finger meant you were the vice principal. Okay.
Yes, still the case. Still the case.
Thank you. Finger pistols, Mike. That one was a fresh new one.
Oh,
So
you're
in
done.
thinking about grade school, there was something in my neighborhood, in my school, and I know it happened in other schools, called the Scholastic Weekly Reader.
Mhm.
We would get a sheet from the Scholastic Book Publishing Company, and you could order books. And now my parents were providers. We'd get any book we wanted. We'd get, if we, within reason, we'd get 1 or 2 books per, Scholastic Weekly Reader. And one year I had to have been really like a good boy. I must have had good grades because I was able to order a poster, which I remember my mother helped me center the poster when it came in. She helped me hang it on my pastel yellow wall. And we had to center the poster. And I don't know if you know this, a poster, if you use 4 thumbtacks to put a poster up on the wall of a suburban New Hampshire home in 1982, you have devalued that home by nearly $3 million. That's in 1983 things. And like my parents were mortified, like, you're putting a hole in the wall. Gotta have my poster up. And I remember when my dad came home from work, I was like, Dad, come see my poster, Dad. And then I let him in the door. And my poor dad, like, I remember the time my dad worked for a computer company that went out of business. The name of the company was called Wang. Yep, get on board, gang. How do you raise a gay kid? Get a job at Wang, everybody. And my poor dad, like Wang did, Ned, you're like, Wang went bankrupt. They were one of the first to invent like a word processing tool or a spreadsheet. Anne Wang is a Chinese immigrant. It's a great American story. And then off to bankruptcy. Also a great American story. I'm surprised he's not a racist Republican president.
I'll work on it.
He's just a fella who he did all the classic things like computer people do to go wrong. Like he had a building in Lowell, Massachusetts. He had to build a brand new building right in the tech center, whereas there were all those great old mills that he could have bought and refurbished, and they would have been real cheap. But no, tech people got to have something new. So right in the middle of old Lowell, Massachusetts, he builds Wang Tower, big white tower that's Wang on the top of it. Had 2 little towers down beneath it, totally covered in ivy, which I think is one of the world's greatest architectural dick jokes known to man. And, Wang Tower put on wonderful events. On Valentine's Day, you could go down to Wang Tower and they would shoot milk right off the ceiling.
Wow.
All is forgiven. All is forgiven.
That part is not true. But the truth is, like, I'm at the top of the stairs going, Dad, come see my poster. And I recall, like, the times where, like, odds are my dad is going, like, are they going to lay us off? Is this the layoff notice in the mail? How am I going to put these kids through college? I promised them an awful lot. Now I'm going to be laid off. And Jesus Christ, what kind of posters this kid got? Anyway, my dad comes into my room, and I just remember him just standing centered in the door. And the look on his face when he looks on the wall is this girlish, cartoonish drawing of a panda bear sitting in a field of daisies. And in cursive at the top, it says, "Everybody smile." And the look on my dad's face just simply said, "Faggot."
Oh.
They're gonna call my kid faggot. And he's not wrong. They called the kid faggot. And I get it. Like, there's my daddy. That's not the kind of word he would use. That's not what he says. But he's very aware of what I'm about to go through in life. And I got no clue. And he's got no idea what to do. Bert and Roy, two good people who, farmers and from a small little village in Quebec. They don't know stuff about gay. And it's Scholastic Weekly Reader that I ordered the poster from, and that's a bunch of scholars. They should have done something. Our country should have done something. My dad served in the Air Force. Like, who's taking care of them on a moment like this? Somewhere at the Scholastic Shipping and Receiving, little pink flags.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Girl's poster going over to the little boy's house.
Well, you got to start that joke over again. Somewhere in the
You froze.
Oh,
You have
sorry.
to start over again. Start over again with somewhere in
The shipping department.
The shipping department. I said, little pink flags got to pop up, and somebody's got to get like a sorry, but we think your kid might be gay kit. Just send me the poster. But include something like a lacrosse player's handbook. You're going to need that. You're going to a lot of those games. And maybe a Hardy Boys detective mystery manual. Include one of those, because your son has a delicate mystery to solve. And that's what we call the poster story there, Mike. Thank you for allowing me to tell some jokes. And
No, it was
internet connection.
it was a thrill. Let's give him a round of applause. Come on, he's going to keep
Nice
it right. Nancy Drew mysteries, just FYI.
Yes.
Well, I get it. That's a better joke, but we really saved up our paper route money, and only available in Canada was the Hardy Boys
The
detective
manual.
mystery manual. We really ordered it. We thought we were going to solve crimes on Concord Drive in Hudson, New Hampshire.
That'll be.
I wanted to take a plaster cast, Mike. I'm not shitting. I wanted to find a criminal so we could take a plaster cast of their tire print and
There you go.
fucking
Prove
Hudson.
they were
New
guilty. I get it. Prove they were guilty.
Hampshire. We caught you.
So there's Nancy Drew mysteries now.
Yeah, and it's a
Right.
better joke. It's a Nancy Drew detective manual.
Yeah.
Better joke.
Well, I was just
Yeah,
going to
do
say
that.
what's also
funny.
interesting is CW has just swung off Tom Swift. I don't know if you remember Tom
Yeah.
Swift from Nancy Drew.
Yep.
But they've reimagined him as a gay black billionaire.
ooh,
So the new Tom Swift series, he's a young gay black millionaire. He's like the gay black Tony Stark is what he is.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's great. I don't know what to say to that except
is he in a wheelchair as well?
No,
I mean,
that
How
That-
many
that-
things can they cover in one?
Tony Stark wasn't in a wheelchair.
No,
Well,
but he's
yeah, but
gay,
his heart was-
black.
yeah, but he could also be a guy in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He could
Well,
be different.
it's interesting because they started the series, of course, this month during Pride Month. But
Mhm. As well they should.
mhm.
It's,
Mhm.
it's all in the community. It's known as Throw Us a Bone Month.
Throw us a boner.
Hey.
Oh, it's a
Oh no,
boner, yeah.
see, you went with boner. Too cheap. I'm trying to help you out with the Nancy Drew reference,
That's right.
and you go just right back to the hack shit. I mean,
Well, we were all thinking boner anyway, so.
We were.
such a-
Yeah, I was thinking they
they,
should.
they used him to saw the wrist off in the first Saw movie.
That's right. Oh. Or I
No,
was
I'm
thinking.
kidding. Chuck is not a hack. Jesus
That's right.
Christ. Who would tell that story about the touching story about his father realizing that his beloved son is going to have to go through the societal prejudices that he's had to go through? Come on.
Mhm.
He's clearly not a hack.
That was very unique. That was unique.
Yes.
Probably
Thank
time for the silly photo.
yeah, oh, by the way, Abedin, obviously it's 2 hours later where you are, so I get it. But just a thing that we do every month is do the show. At the end, we do a little funny picture that Chuck will tell us about in a second. And then afterwards, if people are interested, we sit around and bullshit for a little while.
So Sarah wasn't going to do jokes. Sarah's not.
Sarah,
Sarah,
Sarah said at the beginning she came to cheer us on.
Oh,
Sarah's got some new jokes. Come on, love.
come on, Sarah. Don't.
It's
Don't.
I don't-
first
I
draft.
Don't hold out.
I've never
Don't
done that before. Come on.
I don't pressure anybody to do a set if they don't want to. If you'd like to do something, I would love to have you do it. And if you don't want to, I
Sorry,
don't
not
want to.
today.
Yeah.
Next one.
I don't,
Okay.
next
Well,
time.
I don't
Yeah.
mind calling somebody a joke tease. I can't believe you joke teasing us, Sarah.
No. You don't mind calling anybody any kind of tease, do you? You just don't.
I've never been called a joke tease, but
Not exactly. No, exactly. But you did work your way through school. Oh, never mind. Who cares?
Mine.
No, come on. Come
No,
on. Why would I
no.
even say that? I don't even know, Lorna.
different system in the UK.
Oh, really?
You have to work harder.
It's true. And wages are lower, and you have, if anything, a worse prime minister than we've had
Right.
presidents.
Yeah, you don't even get tips. Well, I mean, it's some,
Well, yeah, yes.
but
You
not
get,
in the way you mean.
you get,
Right.
you don't get extra compensation,
Right.
shall we
There
say.
you go.
You get plenty of tips.
Gratuity.
Just
Gratuity.
not money.
That's
Yeah,
right.
just no money.
It's not money. Scottish girls, they work harder. 'Cause
Just
all
the
du-
tips.
all
She
the
works.
dudes-
She
all the
works for
dudes-
tips. ladies
all
and
the
gentlemen.
dudes are wearing skirts, so they
She-
got all that competition.
Yeah. She.
You're gonna get killed.
Killed.
yes.
Wow. Oh,
I
that's
learned.
the. Sorry, that's a violation of the 3 trips to the wells.
That's
Joke.
right.
What's the most Scottish hand gesture we can do for the silly photo?
Well, Glasgow, Glasgow's got a bad reputation, right? Well,
Right.
but there's different ways to do it. So you could do this, which in
Okay.
the UK means fuck you.
Right.
But Glasgow's got a bad reputation for being a rough town city, which is where I'm from. And the sign language for that is. So,
Well, let's
but
all
I
do-
think for the picture, probably
I like the
this.
2 because that way we're
It's
swearing.
not two. That's like fuck you.
Right. So
So that's the funny picture.
I think
So my mom and dad are gonna be so proud.
In Glasgow, this means fuck you.
Yeah,
The whole of the UK.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Aberdeen's home country, that means how many months it takes to play a cricket match.
Oh, okay.
Too much.
I was thinking I grew up in the South, and that means I'm going to finger you in the South.
God damn it!
Well,
I wish that
let's,
meant
It's
that.
not this.
That's the United. You know, we don't need to. There's a lot of things that we don't really need
I
to.
could do both. If you
On
want
the
to be
count
like
of-
Sex Pistols.
If you finger me in the south, I'm
Yeah,
gonna take it.
Never mind the
personally.
bollocks. Sex Pistols.
That's right.
2 on the count of 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
All right,
Thank you.
There we go.
beautiful. It was a beautiful thing.
It was.
It was. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, YouTubes, and bye, YouTube.
Dirty old town.